Oscar De La Hoya finally reacts to his fighter Ryan Garcia's rant, saying that he wants a fight date. You might be surprised how he responds. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. Now we also have the Zelle. Link is in the description. Appreciate everybody who helped the channel continue to grow. We stay independent this way. You know, I get to have full creative control, bring different segments and gear to the channel. So shout out to everybody who makes that possible. Now, in the case of Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy and Canelo, you know, that whole triangle, it doesn't seem, at least from my view, to be looking too good. Golden Boy has a lot going on. You know, the biggest issue is a displeased Canelo Alvarez, their number one earner, their highest paid. Really the reason they have fights on DAZN, because DAZN wanted Canelo. They spent heavy on the richest sports contract. However, based on a flawed business model, they weren't able to uphold that. And, you know, it seems like there's some discrepancies on what the contract says and, you know, what Canelo's obligations are and who he reports to. So it has now led to a point of contention where Canelo says, to hell with this, I'm suing Golden Boy, DAZN, and Oscar. You know, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, and he's seeking no less than $280 million. So, you know, we'll have to see how that pans out. Canelo did refile. His legal team made some clerical errors, so they had to correct that to, you know, have their case seen and heard from the judge. They did that. They tried to do, you know, some kind of arbitration or some kind of mediated 10-hour meeting or something, but as of right now, there's no deal. So what this has done is it's created that domino effect, if you will, and Golden Boy's whole stable, we don't really know what's going on. The only person with Golden Boy that has a DAZN date that I can think of is Jaime Munguia and that card, that particular card. So whoever's on that, you know, Jaime Munguia versus Toriano Johnson card, those are the only guys that have fights. But guys like Ryan Garcia are left in the wilderness. Now, I posed the question on my channel that Ryan Garcia, he's publicly outed Golden Boy and Oscar. You know, it got to a point where Ryan Garcia was saying, hey, if you think Virgil Ortiz is nicer than me, or you don't believe in me, you won't give me the opportunities, then just release me. And they seemingly hashed it out, had a meeting, had a sit down, gave him more money, renegotiated. But it looks like it's not fully resolved, because Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight earlier this year in the summertime. I know we were in a pandemic year, but they were trying to schedule it around the 4th of July weekend, and came close, but no cigar. And this was allegedly over money. They offered Ryan Garcia $200K, and he felt with his star power and the fact that he earns more money outside of boxing than he does in boxing, he just felt that he was worth more. You know, he's a bigger searched celebrity, and he's one of the biggest searched guys and influencer types in boxing, so he wants more money. Now, Oscar De La Hoya, hours after Ryan Garcia posted several tweets, which I made a video about it, Oscar De La Hoya, I guess he's in Cuba, and he posted this video, and he was just puffing on a cigar. Because I follow all these guys on social media, so I was trying to see what Oscar, you know, if he responded on Twitter, and there's no way he doesn't know the dismay of his fighters, especially the two most popular, or two of the most popular, like Canelo and Ryan Garcia. So to me, that was a response directed to Ryan Garcia, you know, saying, I'm chilling, I'm not even really worried about that. And he's since posted some other stuff saying he's eating clean, and, you know, here's Canelo at Madison Square Garden. So he doesn't seem to be too bothered, or at least he's not willing to open up about it publicly at the moment. Again, this looks like it's going to get ugly, and it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better. In my opinion, Golden Boy Promotions, they are hanging on by a thread. They have none of the biggest fights for the remainder of the year. You know, Errol Spence fighting Danny, Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Leo Santa Cruz, Teofimo Lopez fighting Lomachenko, none of which are on DAZN, none of which are put on by Golden Boy. And Golden Boy has this illustrious deal or whatever with DAZN, and your biggest stars aren't fighting, pandemic or not. Somehow, some way, PBC, who used to work with Oscar De La Hoya, who got sued by Oscar De La Hoya once they parted ways, you know, and the case was later dismissed, they're putting on their biggest stars. The Charlos, they just fought a doubleheader, both twins for the price of one. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, two branded guys for the last several years. We've seen all their fights. We've seen their come up. Gervonta, Leo Santa Cruz, same deal. And it looks like Wilder Fury is probably the only fight that is not happening. And I think they're waiting for like maybe larger crowds or, you know, whatever the situation, because that fight is already, this is the third one, and they already fought once this year. So I think they're just content pushing it back. But everybody else, even top rank, they got Lomachenko and Teofimo. Frank Warren got Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. They said that's an official fight. But where's Golden Boy? Their biggest star is suing them, Canelo Alvarez. And then their other star, in terms of Ryan Garcia, seems to be disgruntled, unhappy, and begging for a fight date. I don't know, man. This doesn't look good to me. But a brief word from my sponsor. Make sure you guys sign up for ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus, they got a lot of original content, docuseries, documentaries, BTS, rewatches in case you want to rewatch some boxing or UFC. You get all that and more. You can get ESPN Plus as a standalone app, or you can bundle it. ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, all three apps for one low price. And it does help the channel grow in a phenomenal way. So I don't know. We'll see how this unfolds with Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia is trying to pick fights with Gervonta Davis, which clearly that's not going to happen since Tank already has his own pay-per-view on Showtime with Leo Santa Cruz. I seen Ryan Garcia called out, said he's willing to fight Jake Paul for charity. They're not even the same weight. You know, it looks bad because I think Ryan Garcia, he just looks like he's growing impatient. And to have two guys in the same gym, Canelo and Ryan Garcia, who probably talk, and for Ryan to see what all the things Canelo, big bro, is going through, and then he feels like he ain't getting his fights and his opportunity to showcase what he's been working on, this just spells trouble for De La Hoya. So he can smoke all the cigars he wants and act unbothered and whatnot, but these are real life issues, and you really had one job, and that was to keep Canelo happy. Two jobs if you want to include Ryan Garcia, both of which Golden Boy, you know, has failed to do to this point. So Golden Boy, in my opinion, kind of holding on to a thread. There's just a lot going on. We'll see how it all unfolds. Let me know what you guys think. But Oscar De La Hoya, that was his reaction hours after Ryan Garcia started griping and he was miffed on the internet about not being able to have a fight date. I mean, it's crazy. And the WBC should be held accountable too, because the WBC has certain rules that are in place, and they're bending the rules for Oscar and for Golden Boy. You know, this Ryan Garcia fight has been months in the making. I know at least the 4th of July, they kept saying the fight was done, doing graphics and saying there was a lightweight tournament, saying a deal had been reached, and you know, we need an extension, and then another extension, and then a month extension, then a 48-hour extension. Then they said, oh, a deal's been reached. But then yet, you know, even one point, Ryan Garcia posted on his social media feed that the fight was done. And then De La Hoya came from behind him and said, no, it isn't done. Then they went to a purse bid. The WBC said, we're doing a Zoom public purse bid. Then they had all the parties on the line and said, oh, we don't need a purse bid. We've already reached a deal. Okay, where's it at? I mean, this was weeks ago, literally weeks ago. And the reason I know, literally the day it happened, if you guys remember my channel, that was the day that I was evacuated because of the California wildfires. So I remember that day very well because I went to Trader Joe's and I was in the parking lot, and that's when they had that purse bid. So I was displaced and had to evacuate. You know, the police knocked at the door or whatever. So I had to stay in a hotel for 3 days or whatever. So I remember that date well. And that was long, you know what I'm saying? That was weeks ago. You know, I've been back for weeks. So that date sticks with me, specifically the day they did the purse bid, because I remember that whole day because it was a scary day, you know, have police bang on your door and say you got to leave, and you know, you got 10-15 minutes, the fire's coming, you know, take everything that you care about that you can gather in the next 10 minutes and leave. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that day well. And like I said, it's been weeks. If you guys remember on my channel when I was in a hotel, because I haven't been traveling for boxing because they're not letting a lot of the media into the events. So that was the time when I was in the hotel doing videos for a couple of days for the people who watch my channel regularly. So that was weeks ago. And the fires have somewhat come down in my immediate area, and still no Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell fight. So Oscar can, you know, pretend to be unbothered like this, like he's not getting sued by Canelo, and he, like, Ryan Garcia is not putting him on blast, and you know, whatever. But we'll see how it plays out. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.